Due to the coronavirus pandemic, a lot of things are going to change in the way football is being run. Many clubs are going to make an extra effort to sign a gem, while other clubs will be looking to sell their star players in order to A. avoid getting close to a financial catastrophe, and B. to ease the burden on wage bills. Not many clubs are going to come out unscathed from the recent league suspension. Liverpool, for instance, chose not to sign long-term target Timo Werner because of financial reasons. However, that will not stop the rumour mills surrounding the future of France international Kylian Mbappé. The young striker already has the world at his feet at the age of 21, and it's only a matter of time before he moves to a bigger club. Under contract at Paris Saint-Germain until 2022, the young striker's immediate future is still at Parc des Princes, but that could all change in the near future. Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting video on your favourite channel, Goalside. Don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time on the channel. Ask our amazing subscribers who will tell you all about the sheer volume of great content we already have on our playlist. Today we're going to talk about Mbappe's future and which club the young Frenchman could sign for. But before we begin, make sure that you watch the full video to have a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is simply answer a question we'll ask. So let's get on with what you came for. At present, Mbappé isn't really looking to turn his back on PSG, but the striker leaving the club is one of the greatest truths of life. The youngster may be doing well, but eventually he would want to experience something different and might even want to do it sooner rather than later. Unlike a lot of precocious talents around the world, Mbappé already has tons of experience, so playing for a bigger club is not going to put him in a high pressure situation. Looking at his career so far, we can say with extreme confidence that this guy is not going to be bogged down by the weight of expectation. If anything, the youngster thrives on the big stage, as evidenced by his remarkable display in France's World Cup winning campaign in Russia. So where is Mbappé going to go once he decides that he's had enough success in France? Reportedly, the Frenchman is happy to sign a contract extension at PSG, but here comes the caveat. Mbappé wants to have a release clause inserted in his contract, which would allow him to move to Club X if the club meets the said clause. Well, that's not very complicated, is it? Problem is, PSG aren't too keen on doing that, even though not doing so makes them vulnerable to losing their star player for absolutely nothing but great memories in 2 years' time. That would be quite an embarrassment for the Qatari owners, wouldn't it? But of course, Nasser Al Khelaifi and company aren't going to allow anyone to make their cheeks and ears go red, so we believe that a release clause upwards of €200 million will eventually be inserted, and Mbappé will put pen to paper on what's sure to be a lucrative contract. Once that's done and dusted, potential suitors will be left scratching their heads and wondering about their next moves. Any big club would love to sign the young striker, but in a world ravaged by the coronavirus, who would have pockets deep enough to facilitate such a transfer? Well, Real Madrid, for one, would still want to throw their hat in the mix. Los Blancos are still some way away from creating their next squad of titans. With Benzema nearing the twilight years of his career, Luka Jovic forgetting how to put the ball in the back of the net like he used to in Germany, Isco still unloved, Marcos Asensio far from becoming a huge star, and Vinicius Jr. trying to be the X-Factor all on his own, a player of the quality of Kylian Mbappé is much needed. Eden Hazard is there, but the Belgian hasn't got off to a great start and will take time to be at his best. In fact, Real Madrid waited for Hazard's contract to get close to expiring before they made their move, and we would not be surprised if the Spaniards were thinking of doing the same with Mbappé. But playing the waiting game isn't really ideal in this scenario, so with or without a release clause, the European giants need to make their move, and move they will. While most of the footballing world is going to be struggling with the after effects of the pandemic, Madrid somehow always seem to have sufficient funding to make their move in the transfer market. Zinedine Zidane, for one, is a huge fan of his compatriot and would love to have him in his stable of the most elite young footballers on the planet. What we think is that Real Madrid might wait one more year to make their move, but it remains to be seen if they would be able to get a bargain price for the hottest football commodity in the world, especially if he signs a new contract with an astronomical release clause. In recent months, Liverpool were also linked with a move for the Frenchman. The fact that they're one of the best teams on the planet right now means that the Reds would always continue to be linked with the best players around. But if we've learnt anything from the Timo Werner episode, watch our video on Werner's move to Chelsea to know more, it's that the Reds are not going to be making any huge waves in the transfer market for the foreseeable future. The club's American owners do not want to risk their business by paying over the odds. Mbappé, with or without a release clause, is going to cost a lot of money, and with the current economic situation is not going to be a player in discussion during boardroom meetings. But there could be a plot twist. Who is Liverpool's apparel manufacturer? Nike. Who's Nike's ambassador? Mbappé. What we're about to say is not as far-fetched as it seems. There is a possibility that Nike finances the deal. How would they do that? Well, it's quite simple. Nike's mega deal with Liverpool will see them pay the league leaders around £300 million a year, and the Reds will also receive 20% from all net sales. Now imagine a scenario in which Mbappe's move happens for real. Shirt sales will increase for sure. The Premier League hasn't seen a huge star for a while now, so anything with Mbappé written on it would sell like hotcakes, and therefore Liverpool will be able to recover a decent amount of money they spent on the striker. Barcelona are another club that's been linked with Mbappé, but in all honesty, this is not a move that would happen in the near future. Why? It's quite simple. The Blaugrana are too focused on bringing Neymar back, and in order to do that, are looking to offload some of the elements of their starting 11. Time for our question. Before playing for PSG, which club did Mbappé represent in Ligue 1? Moreover, the Spanish champions don't have the finances to make such a move either. And before we forget, would Mbappé actually want to play in a team where he would be expected to play second fiddle to Lionel Messi? At the age of 21, Mbappé would ideally want to be the main man of any club where he goes. That's never going to be the case in Catalonia for a while. We could dare say that Juventus might want to go all in for Mbappé, but we're not sure if the old lady will risk making such a huge move, especially due to the fact that Italian clubs are facing a financial dilemma due to football suspension and fan inactivity during games. So this is what we think could happen with Kylian Mbappé in the future. The young striker has time on his side, which means that he can patiently wait before making his next big move. But with the current climate, no one can say for sure which club he would go on to play for. For sporting reasons, signing the youngster is a no-brainer, but if you look at the financial side of things, such a move would need to be thought through. Let us know where you think Mbappé would end up after PSG.